So, good morning, student. Today we are going to learn the math class and date, time, and span. The function provided by these classes. Let us start with advanced math. Why it is advanced math? Because normal calculations of math you can do with the help of operators. Okay, so these operators will be helping you to find out the values. But there are some built-in function provided by C Sharp.net using what? Using that you can also solve the calculation which will take enough time for a normal human being to solve. But with your programming and this built-in function, they are going to help you to solve that particular problem within short duration of span. So as almost all programming languages have set of keywords and general math operations such as rounding off and trigonometry, C Sharp also comes with that function also and some of the advanced functions. The .NET provides centralized math class, so it is a part of .NET base class library with adequate math functions. The math class is again derived from system.math system namespace. So it is referred as system.math or you can directly call it as math. You can also observe math class M start in capital. So all the classes in .NET start with capital letter. This class offers many constant field and static methods that you can use. So what do you mean by here static method? That means the function of math class you can directly call with the name of class. That means math.xyz, math.pqr, because the static function can be directly called with class name. You need not to create an object. So these static methods you can use to do trigonometry, logarithm, other mathematical calculations. For example, power of POW method of the system.math class can be used to raise a number to power of x. This is just an example. We are not going into the deep here. For example, we have created a variable double type. The name of variable is answer. Then you can also find out, you have to observe the answer with the methods. For example, we are using math.log method. So log math, okay, to the best 10, you will get the answer. So that answer in we have stored in double because the digits are sometimes more the fractional and decimal digits. So we have to use double data type generally, not compulsory, but whenever you feel it is better. The next is again we are using same variable, but we are using different function. Math.sqrt stands for calculating the square root. So obviously 81 ka square root you will get 9.0. Why 9? Why not 9? Because our data type is double. Next is math.round. We have to just call the function and assign to some variable and print the variable. That's why we are skipping that one. So obviously 42.889 comma and the second number here in round, the second parameter is here up to what number of decimal places you want the value. Okay, so 42.88, the answer supposed to be 42.88. No, when it is above 5, the last digit is above 5. So 88 ka last digit 8, so it is above 5, so it will be again rounding up to 9. So don't be confused here in answer 42.89. Why it is there? The actual round up to two decimal places is 42.88. But as the last digit is above 5 or 5, then it becomes 1 plus. So it becomes 42.9. Okay. The answer. Next is math dot absolute value. So ABS function gives you absolute value. So it will give you 10. The next is math dot log function that will give you some particular value of particular value you have provided as a parameter. Math.py obviously 3.14. Now here math.py pi in capital is a static variable constant field. Okay, so it is not a method, it is a predefined constant field, so it holds the value 3.14. So there are many other math static functions and members available such as sine, cos, a cos, a sine, a tan, ceiling, floor, exponential, sine. Okay, so These are we can use to do the mathematical operation. Let us see some interesting classes provided by .NET C# to us to make our programming better and user friendly. The class names are date time and time span. The date time and time span data types also have built-in methods and properties that helps us to facilitate to user. These class members allows us to perform three useful tasks. First, it extract the part of date time. So that means whatever date we are getting, you can extract just a year from that date, month from that date, or day from that date. Or you can also convert the time span to specific representation. Almost date and time span classes are used with each other along, because we if you are going to specific with the time, then we are using time span. If we are going to specifically use the dates, so again date and times are going to hand in hand in programming. So here we can also convert time span into total number of days or total number of minutes or total number of seconds. So if you are going to convert it into milliseconds, that is also possible. So huge amount of calculation burden the methods provided by time span and date time class are going to reduce. The second useful task, they can easily perform date calculation. So adding the dates, okay, and subtracting the dates with the normal simple plus and minus, that is addition and subtraction arithmetic operators. So if we are going to create an object with these classes and applying this operator, then and then we are getting perfect addition of dates and time. Okay. Otherwise, with normal variable, it is not possible. The another useful task, it helps us to determine the current date and time. Other information such as day of the week, what is that, whether the date occurs in leap year, how much days in February in this year. So many functions are available. We are going to see just the constructor of this particular classes. So you can see at the top time span, it accepts the first parameter days in the integer format, the second integer hours, all the integers are there. Third parameter is the minute, fourth parameter is the second, and the fifth parameter is milliseconds. So you can extract the time with days, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. So obviously what we have seen or I have explained the same thing. Days, number of hours, number of minutes, number of second, and number of millisecond. Let us concentrate on our next class, date time. Here it also accepts all the parameters in integer format, but little bit more. It also gives you first integer year, month, and day. Okay, year, month, and day. You know, you can know the hierarchy. Then obviously after day it is going to give you or accept the parameter hour, then minute, and then second. So you can find out the difference. What if you are going to work only with the days and time, then you can use only time span. If you want a month and year calculation, you can use date time. So this is the difference between both the classes. And again, in date time you cannot find details, minute details of millisecond. That is possible with time span. So here again the year will be 1 through 9999. Month obviously 1 to 12. You can give the value. Integer value range is there. What the particular date time constructor can accept. The day obviously day through the number of days in month. Sometimes it might be 1 to 30. If you are using February, it might be going to 28 to 29. Hours obviously 0 to 23. 24-hour clock is used. Minutes 0 to 59. 60 minutes. In seconds, it will come 0 to 59, same like minute as for a conversion. If you want to get the value with the help of time span and date time, so we have to convert, because date and time span classes are going to give you value in the form of object. So when we want to print a value, you know that that value is supposed to be in some number and something. We cannot print object directly because that is a memory reference. It is a reference type. It is no direct value. So there are two ways. The .NET C# provides you some formatting in your system.writeline method. Okay, sorry, system.console.writeLine method, where we can put our particular notation and we can extract the exact value that we want to print for from the object of date time, or sorry, date time and time span. So next we are going to see that, and the second way is either you have to convert that date time object into string and then print it. Okay, I'm repeating. If you want to extract the values of from these class object time span and date time, either you have to use formatting, and otherwise you have to convert that particular object into toString. You know that there is a built-in method object dot toString, T capital S capital, and you have to provide object in that. It will be converted, or you can assign that particular object ka value into string, and then you can print. So already we have seen the conversion part, so we are going to check the formatting part now. Okay, so this is just an example, date time, how to write this one. Okay, we will get this particular answer because PPT is created before. So just observe the creation of objects. Here in date time, we have created an object today, and it is assigned to date time dot now to get the current date. So that means we are not using here new keyword, because we are accessing the static property called as now. So now what's the current date and time? It is a built-in property. It is not a method or constructor. So still date time we can assign without a new new keyword. The second line in yellow will tell you time span. The object name is duration. That is user defined object name. You can assign anything, equal to new time span, and we are providing whatever number of objects, or sorry, parameters that we want to provide in time span particular uh, constructor. The next is date time answer. The third line, we are using or assigning today. What is today now? Today is the object of date time. So we are assigning that today dot add. And in that add method, so add method is of date time class. There we are putting duration. So duration we have calculated with new time span with new values. That duration will be added into now. Whatever, what is now? Current date and time, and that is stored in object today. Okay, to avoid the confusion, I'll tell you what we are doing here. With the first line, we are getting the current date time and storing it in today object. Then we are just creating a time span with our own values in the object duration. And what we are doing here, we are using today dot add. That means current time, date and time may we are adding our created time span. Okay, then in console.writeLine, as earlier I have explained, there are patterns to write the date and time on the screen or on the console. So here we have created the pattern 0. That means nothing but DDD means in date time format we are taking, and the second parameter is obviously going to be an answer. So this is the one of the format you are getting with console.writeLine. Previously we have seen we can pass the variable to print the value, or we can directly write the value in WriteLine method. But WriteLine method also supports console formatting. So we can print our answer in our format. So here it is date time format. There are multiple formats. I am going to show you in the subsequent slides. So here if you are printing the answer will be in current time added our time span. Okay, and then we are writing the answer will be some Saturday. Okay, why? Because we are asking for date only. First console.writeLine mein we are asking DDD format. D stands for date. So D, if we are writing 4 D's, it will give you day only, the name of day. That I am going to explain you how the formatting is there. And in second console.writeLine, you are getting the answer. If you are not formatting the string, it will print like this 5/16. So fifth is a month, 16 is a date, year, then space, then time in second, and AM or PM. So how we have extracted the Saturday? Because we have used the formatting string for date and time span ke liye. Both, it is applicable for both. So 4D means you can get the name of day. Let us see what kind of formattings are available in after this example. So these are the formatting. Okay. Just line by line, you need to concentrate. We are going to date time. So object we have created DT, user defined name you can do, and we are initiating with static now property date time now. That is the rule, you know that. So then look at the first line, console.write line. Okay, 0 colon. Then we have written y triple. So we want the date time dt ka value, because second comma we have written dt. Okay, as it is an object, it is not going to be directly print. You know that. I explained it. Otherwise, you have to convert it into string and print it. Otherwise, you have to use this formatting. Okay. So if you want a year in particular format, we can use Y. Okay. Then if you want to get the values in particular format, then you will get month. Okay. If you are using small case d, you are going to get the day. If you are using h small case h, then you are getting hour, and in capital H, the formatting will be different. The console.write line, mm stands for minute, then f stands for minutes without zeros, then small case f, second fraction, fractions of seconds, and s will be seconds, the t will be am and pm. Now you can observe the screen from the first line. I want all students to concentrate on first line. Okay, there are multiple y used, so I will tell you. If we are using single y, we are getting different output. If we are using double y, we are getting different output. If we are getting triple y, we are getting different output. If we are getting 4y, we are getting different output. Let us see the output. Check the output screen. Okay. So first concentrate again, console.write line first line. After 0 colon, we have written y. Okay. So that y stands for year. And you know that year value is supposed to be in 2-digit. Okay. Either 4-digit or 2-digit. So even if you are writing single y, it will print 20. You can see in output. Even if you are writing double y, the second parameter, second space ke baad double y you have written. So again, it will give you 20. But if you are writing 3y, so it is converting into 4 point year 2020, because year cannot be in 3-digit, either it is in 2 or 4, but it is here we have provided 3. So it is still going to print 2020. And if we are going to give 4y, obviously it is going to give you 2020. I think you understand how this console.write line formatting is working. Okay, what I did here to explain you all the concept and multiple times of appearing of this particular letter. What you have to first remember, why small case is why you use, why M, why D, why capital F, why small case F. That you need to understand, that you need to remember. But I will tell you the formatting. If you are using that particular symbol, that particular letter for formatting again and how many times, how will be the output. So अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, सिंगल वाई भी रहेगा तो 2 डिजिट में देगा, डबल वाई भी रहेगा तो 2 डिजिट में देगा, ट्रिपल वाई रहेगा तो 4 डिजिट में देगा. ओके, एंड 4 टाइम वाई रहेगा तो भी 4 डिजिट में देगा. So this is how year formatting is done. Now next is month. After 0 colon, the m is single. If you are going to give m, so month is obviously 1 to 12, so it can be explained in single digit. So it is going to give you 5, second line of output. And the red line, second line of console.write line, we are explaining m. Then if you are writing it will give you 05 because 2 digit. Then if you are writing triple m, it will give you the name of month. And if you are writing 4m, still it is going to give you name of month. Got my point? Okay. Now we are going to third right line sentence, which is in red, and third output in third line in output. So console.write line here we are using, sorry, not is day is remaining. Console.write line in white D. So single D is there, it is going to print the date. because date is going to be 31 tak. So that day is not a having single value. Whenever I took this output now, if it is 1 to 9, it will going to print only 9. But when I run that particular program, date was 14. So it is 2-digit date. So on that date, this is automatically taken 14, 2 points here. DD, obviously, now there are 2 days, so 2 numbers chahiye. So it is again 14. If you are writing triple D, it will give shortcut name of that particular day. Here, THU. Okay, if you are writing 4 times small case d, it will give you complete name of day in the letters or string. I think you might started understanding how this particular formatting structure goes. Let us start with the fourth red line and fourth output, 0 colon small case h. Okay, so h is going to give you in hours. So if you are putting single digit, it is going to put a 8. If you are writing double h, so it will give you 0, 8. Okay, if you are writing capital H, it is going to give you 20. How it is 20? 12 plus 8. So if you are writing capital H, it will give you output in 24-hour clock. Okay, even you are writing double H, it is again going to you 2-digit 24-hour clock. Again going to the next console.writeLine M. If you are writing M is for minute, so obviously single M है. अगर 1 minute रहता था वहाँ पे watch में या फिर जब हमने program run किया system time, so it is going to give in single digit. But जब when I run that particular program, it was 14, so it is represented in 14 regardless of you are printing single M. Then is again the 2-digit minutes. Next is console.writeLine without zeros. So obviously there is nothing is without zero, so it is printing 0, 0, 0. Next line पे आते हैं fraction of second fraction. Okay, so it is going to give you fraction in this the same type. Okay, so the last one, if you are writing single t, okay, it is going to A or P as per the time. If you are writing TT, it is going to write AM or PM, both the words. So this is how the date, time and span class works. Okay, so we have completed here date, time, span class and the methods and functions of it. So our topic is C# decision making statement, that is also referred as conditional statements. So decision making statement is depending on the condition block that we need to be executed. Okay, or not, which is decided by any condition. So sometimes we want something to be executed only after certain things has been done or certain input or certain conditions supposed to be matched. For that time, whatever input output we're taking, that is going to be based on that particular condition. That's why it is called as decision making statements. For example, like your favorite food dish, your favorite color on your favorite color or your favorite hero, that depends on you particular individual conditions, whatever they are thinking about them. We may want to do something only when certain condition is true, because the situation might be different, or users for which we are making the software may ask something different than previous user. So we have to respect his particular desires, and according to that we have to facilitate the output. The decision making statements are going to be very handy to facilitate to him. If the condition is true, the statement block will be executed. If the condition is false, then statement block will not be executed. This is the simple decision making statement ka structure. The decision making statement in C# is if statement, the if else statement, that we are also going to the nested if else as a ladder. Okay, and then the switch statement. So as you are earlier aware this about this particular statements, so we are not going to spend much time in this one. So let us start with if statement. In this type of statement, if the expression is true, then respective block of code is executed. Students, I want you to concentrate on the screen for syntax, because what is if, what is else, you know that. Just you have to check the syntax, how it is written in C#. Syntax is quite similar to previous programming language also. If as a keyword, you have to write in small case. In bracket, you have to write your conditional statement, conditional expression on which the situation if match, then the bracket statement will be executed. For example, we are taking program to find positive number. So in code block, we have taken integer number equal to 4. If number is greater than 0, okay, then we are writing console.writeLine that number is positive. Very simple logic is there. Okay, so if you are writing number 4, so obviously 4 is greater than 0, so we are getting output positive number. The if else statement. In this type of statement or group of statements are executed when the expression is true, and if the expression is false, we want to execute some subsequent code block or statement that we can put into else part. So syntax is simple. If syntax is simple. If here we have to put our conditional statement. If it is true, then statement 1 will be executed, or multiple statement we can put in that code block under the curly bracket, or else part will execute if the condition becomes false. The statement 2 or multiple statement can be executed in else part. So let us check this one with finding positive and negative number. The logic almost is same. We are using same variable integer number 4. If number is greater than 0, so obviously we are going to write it positive number in else block. If it is less than 0, obviously false condition mein aayega to negative number. So our output is positive number because our variable is 4. Nesting if else statement. If the expression 1 is false, then expression 2 is checked and statements are executed if it is true. If the expression 2 also gets failure, then else part is executed. So you can write multiple expressions here. We can use it. So for example, if expression 1, then if it is true, then execute this statement. Sorry. Else if expression 2 is true, then it will execute this one, or otherwise if no expression 1 and 2 is not going to satisfy the condition, then else part will be executed. This ladder we can increase up to multiple level. If, else if, else if, else if, and at the last you have to write else. Let us take the example. Sorry again, we are going to see the program to find out number is positive, negative, or 0 with the same construct. We have again taken the same variable integer number 4. Okay. Then the simple logic, if number is greater than 0, we are writing it is positive number. If number is less than 0, so it is negative number. In other condition, it is going to be number 0 itself, because only that condition is remaining. Okay. So in this way, we can use if else statement. The switch case statement are used to execute only specific case of statement based on the switch expression. There are several cases under one statement. So whatever output you want to get with if else ladder, so code becomes longer. Okay. So switch case statement can also do that work in easiest way. Just the syntax is changed. So you have to write keyword switch in bracket the conditional expression or switch expression we are referring here. Then we have to use case constant on the basis of which that particular expression will be evaluated. So case constant 1 expression will be first. Then if the case constant expression 1 is match, then statement 1 will be execute and break. Because if one condition is match, there is no further need to execute the subsequent code. Okay. So the statement will break. So you know that break keyword will end the particular code block and it will go to outside the switch on the next subsequent line. If case constant expression 1 is not matching, so it might match to 2, then statement 2 will execute, otherwise break. Case constant expression and it is not going to match, then again it is going on to default. So what is the default? If it is not matched to any of the expression of switch, then it is going to default. Okay, let us have an example. We have taken two, we have taken one variable here. Very simple example I have taken. So we have taken integer st because we want to give in some values. So our first case is 0. If user enters 0, then console.writeLine it will print false. Okay, then statement will break. If user enters 1, then it is going to be true. Okay, then अगर both of this नहीं रहेगा तो then it will go to wrong choice because we have given him only two choices, 0 and 1. So here output will be true because our variable value is 1. So it will match to case 1. There are versions of switch case, fall through switch case and other switch case, but as in web programming, we are not going to exploit the facilities available in C sharp, fall through switch case. You know, in that what happens, you can write 0, 1, 2, 3 or multiple cases simultaneously. So for example, it is not required that every time that case constant, you are going to take integer only. Sometimes you can take it as a character also. So if you want to write characters, then the case can be uppercase character or lowercase character. So you can write two cases subsequently, case 0 colon, and after that on next line case 0 whatever, case a small case colon, and on the next line case capital A colon. So in that case, if you're writing two subsequent cases, then that particular, when user either enters small case A or uppercase A, that case will be executed. That kind of thing is called as fall through switch case. Okay. So today we are ending the lecture here only because we have finished today. Just to revise, math class functions, then date time, then time span, and then decision statement. Okay. Thank you very much, students.